Hi, first grade. It is time for our new sort of the week. This week you are doing sort 27. So what I've done is I've put examples of our different groups down at the bottom of my workspace, and at the top I have the headings. This week you are going to be looking at two different sounds. IR saying and IRE, IER, both saying ire. So if you notice, they're both using the exact same letters, but the R and the E are moving, are the only letter that moves. One is a silent E word, and one is a two vowel together word. And then we will have an oddball section. So I've made a heading actually for oddballs. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look over my different words and say them and listen to what I hear. I think I'm going to start with the only heading that has a totally different sound. So I'm going to start with higher. So I hear ire. Thirst. In this one I hear So I'm going to move it up, and I do see IR. So I'm going to move it up to IR. Dirt. Again, I hear IR. Moving that up. Coming to whirl. Whirl. I hear right there in the middle. So that's my IR. Pliers, I'm hearing ire. Flyer, ire. So I'm not doing anything with those yet. There. And when I say that one, I notice that it's not saying ire or it's saying air. So this would be in my oddball group. So I'm going to move it over to my oddball heading. Next I have shirt. So I'm hearing in the middle. So I'm going to move that with my IR. Tire, I again hear ire. Fur, I hear but I'm noticing that it's a different vowel with the R. So there are different vowels that go with R to say So this is not fitting with my IR heading. So I'm going to put this fur in my oddball group with there. Coming back down, I see dryer, and again I'm hearing ire, and skirt. In skirt, if I break it apart, I hear right there in the middle before the t sound. So I'm going to put it over here with my other ers. Wire, crier, and fire, all I hear ire. Fur, swirl, and bird. Fur, I'm hearing and I do see that I, like the heading. So I'm going to move that over to our IR group. Swirl, swirl, I'm hearing again, IR, and with bird, I'm hearing IR. So I'm going to take both of those and I'm adding them over to the IR group. Continuing. Third, again, I hear Girl, I hear girl, and chirp, chirp. So I'm going to move all three of those, having a big IR group. I'm just organizing here. Okay, coming back for our last three. First, twirl, and birth. Again, I'm hearing first, and earth. So again, all three of those are coming over here to my group. So before moving to my next heading, I'm just going to double check myself. So IR saying So I hear and I see IR third. IR girl. Chirp, twirl, first, birth, bird. Swirl, fur, skirt, shirt, whirl, dirt, and thirst. And I'm seeing that they all have that IR and they are all saying Looking at my next two headings, both of these are saying ire, one being a bossy a bossy E example. So that E at the end is a silent E is what we often said in my classroom. So I have a silent E going in this group. And I have a two vowels together in this one with an R. So both have an R, but the way the vowels are sitting, I'm paying attention to now. So I'm going back down to my group of words. So I'm going to start here. Plier. So I hear the ire and I see the I and the E together with the R. So I'm going to move pliers under the IER. Higher, I hear ire, and this time I see that E at the end. Higher, moving it to IRE. Tire, I see IRE. Dryer and flyer, they look very similar. IER, saying ire. We move those under the IER group. Wire, crier, and fire. So the first example, I see I and then the R and then the E. And the bottom example, I see the I and the R and the E. So I'm going to move both of those to the IRE heading. And I'm going to move crier, again it says ire, but the I and the E are together. So I'm going to move that up with my IER group. So I'm double checking. First looking, both groups are saying the same sound, ire, but the way the vowels sit is what is different and I need to pay attention to. So IRE, higher, tire, fire, and wire. And I can see that all of those groups, all of those words match the heading. The other group is also saying ire, but I see the I and the E together and then the R. Pliers, dryer, flyer, and crier. Those all look the same. And then last, my oddball group. My first oddball there has an I and an R, like my headings, and it has an E, like my headings. Some of my headings have an I, an E, and an R, but this is not saying it's not saying ire or It is saying air, like some of our previous sorts. So there looks different, and well, it looks similar, but it sounds different. And then fur, F-U-R, is saying like the IR group, but it's using a different spelling. And part of that is because fur is a homophone group, and so they needed to show it in two different ways because it means two different things. So moving to the homophones. I wanted to actually show you two this week. I did want to show you the fir spellings. So F-I-R, fir, is a type of tree. It's an evergreen. So a tree that doesn't lose its leaves in the fall. And F-U-R is like what mammals can have, fur. So thinking about a bear or a dog or a cat. And the other homophone that I wanted to show you, you don't have one of them in your sort this week. It was in your sort, I think, last week. But I wanted to show because they do have different meanings, and we sometimes accidentally mix these two up. This week, this there is in your sort. So we want to make sure we understand what that one means. This one you had recently, T-H-E-R-E. This there is like a place. So the car is going over there, that place, to the mountains. So it's a place that you're going. I'm going there. The T-H-E-I-R is people. It's like these people own this house. This house is their house. So if it belongs to them, it's their house. And the other one is thinking about a place. You don't have T-H-E-R-E in your sort this week, but I wanted to make sure you understand the difference in the meaning. They're spelled different and they mean something different, but they sound exactly the same. So when you're writing, you want to make sure you use the right one. So before I end, we're going to look back over what you're thinking about this week. You have two sounds for your headings, IR. And you have ire, spelled either I-R-E or I-E-R. So just thinking about the way those look, because they do sound the same and they have the same letters, but you have to remember which ones have the E at the end and which ones have the E in the middle. And then your oddball group, one of them is saying a totally different sound than the others this week. It's saying air, there. And fur is saying but it's spelled different than what we're looking at this week. Finally, I showed you some homophones. So those are words that look and sound the same. Or they look different, I'm sorry. They sound the same, but they look different and they mean something different. So fur is an example and there is an example. So good luck on your sort this week, first grade. We can't wait to see all that you're learning. Have a good day.